Welcome back to the Roger Report, where we dive headfirst into the stories that are shaping our world at lightning speed. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we, bringing you the absolute must-know updates that you can't afford to miss. Get ready, because the information is hot, the insights are fresh, and the energy is through the roof. We've got a packed show for you today, starting with a massive shakeup in the sports world that's already creating waves. Next, we're shifting gears to a groundbreaking development in technology that promises to redefine our digital lives and could have far-reaching implications for industries across the board. You won't want to miss the details on this one. Then, we're diving into a surprising turn of events in global politics that has the potential to reshape international relations and impact economies worldwide. We'll break down what's really going on behind the headlines. And finally, we're exploring a cultural phenomenon that's got everyone talking, dissecting its impact and what it means for all of us. Stay locked in, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get started. Steelers star's humble arrival. This is a story about a legendary quarterback making a fresh start and immediately impacting his new team with an unexpected approach. Aaron Rodgers, the veteran quarterback known for his storied career and polarizing personality, has landed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the early reports from training camp paint a picture of a player focused on connection and humility. After a period of intense speculation about his future and a tumultuous tenure with his previous team, Rodgers signed a one-year deal with the Steelers, aiming to contribute to a Super Bowl run. However, what's making headlines is not just his presence on the field, but his off-field demeanor. Instead of maintaining a superstar distance, Rodgers has been actively engaging with teammates across all levels of the roster. Stories are emerging of him seeking out conversations with rookies, veteran backups, and even the youngest players on the team. He's been observed lingering after practices, striking up conversations in the locker room, and sharing insights not just as a star player, but as a teammate. This approach is a deliberate effort by Rodgers to move past the public perception and media noise that has often surrounded him, encouraging his new teammates to get to know the real him. He's asked them to set aside preconceived notions, whether from news reports, social media, or past opinions. This desire for a clean slate is palpable, with teammates like wide receiver Scotty Miller noting Rodgers' wish to avoid judgments and build genuine relationships. Quarterbacks coach Tom Arth, who has a history with Rodgers from their time with the Packers, has noted the quarterback's active role in building vital relationships throughout the organization. Rodgers himself has described his role as a servant leader, emphasizing his commitment to supporting his teammates. This philosophy is evident in his interactions, whether it's offering specific advice to linebacker Patrick Queen on defensive plays or simply engaging in good-natured banter. Even those initially skeptical, like safety Deshaun Elliott, have been won over by Rodgers' genuine personality, calling him funny as hell after their interactions. Head coach Mike Tomlin has openly praised Rodgers' contagious passion and the veteran quarterback's commitment to integrating himself fully into the team culture, from locker room chats to shared dorms during training camp, has clearly resonated. This isn't just about his on-field performance. It's about how Rodgers is actively reshaping his legacy and building connections in Pittsburgh, proving that even at this stage of his career, he's still eager to learn, contribute, and lead by example. The Steelers are looking for a spark, and Rodgers seems determined to provide it, not just with his arm, but with his presence and his renewed focus on the human element of the game. But is this renewed focus enough to overcome past challenges? We'll explore the potential impact of this new dynamic on the Steelers' upcoming season next. Rodgers Pittsburgh impact, a statistical forecast. This is a look at how a veteran quarterback's arrival might change a team's performance metrics. As the Pittsburgh Steelers prepare for the upcoming season with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, analysts are busy projecting individual and team statistics. The expectation is that Rodgers' presence will significantly influence the team's offensive output, particularly in passing yards and touchdowns. While Rodgers himself has a history of prolific numbers, the Steelers' offensive scheme under Arthur Smith, known for its run-heavy tendencies, and the presence of other capable backs like Jalen Warren and Najee Harris, suggest a more balanced approach. Projections indicate Rodgers might attempt around 538 passes, a slight decrease from his previous season, which would still place him among the league's top quarterbacks in attempts. This number assumes he plays all 17 games, a testament to his durability. Though torn Achilles aside, he has proven to be a resilient player. The team's overall passing touchdown prediction hovers around 25, a mark the Steelers have struggled to reach consistently since Ben Roethlisberger's departure. While this might represent a personal low for Rodgers in non-injury seasons, it's seen as a positive sign if the team's running game is effective, reducing the need for constant aerial attacks and preventing situations where the team is often playing catch-up. Defensively, the predictions suggest a strong pass-rushing performance, with T.J. Watt expected to lead the league in sacks, and teammate Alex Highsmith also projected to reach double digits. Defensive captain Cam Hayward is anticipated to contribute significantly, alongside emerging talents like Keanu Benton and rookie defensive linemen, who are expected to increase their sack numbers. In terms of the secondary, projections show a focus on interceptions, with players like Patrick Queen and Minkah Fitzpatrick expected to be key contributors. The overall team offense is projected to score around 40 touchdowns, leading to an average of 23.1 points per game, a slight increase from the previous year. This statistical outlook suggests a team that aims for efficiency and balance, leveraging Rodgers' experience while integrating a strong running game and a formidable defense. The individual projections for receivers like DK Metcalf highlight his role as the clear number one option, expected to surpass 1,000 receiving yards again. However, the depth at tight end, with the addition of Jonnu Smith alongside Pat Freiermuth, might lead to a slight reduction in individual targets for Freiermuth. Other receivers like Roman Wilson and Scotty Miller are projected to see increased involvement, contributing to a more dynamic passing attack. The running back situation also sees a notable shift, with Jaylen Warren predicted to carry a significant load, potentially nearing a 50% share of the team's rushing attempts, reflecting a belief in his capabilities as a primary ball carrier. This detailed statistical forecast provides a comprehensive view of how the Steelers might perform across various facets of the game, with Rodgers' influence being a central theme in the offensive projections. But how does this statistical outlook translate to on-field chemistry? We'll explore the human element of this new partnership next. Rodgers Pittsburgh shift, legacy and connection. This is a story about a veteran athlete's deliberate effort to redefine his public image and build team cohesion. Aaron Rodgers' arrival in Pittsburgh has been marked by a notable shift in his public persona, moving away from the controversies and intense media scrutiny that shadowed his later years with the Green Bay Packers and his brief stint with the New York Jets. Now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the veteran quarterback appears to be prioritizing genuine connection and a redefined sense of purpose, aiming to build bridges with his new teammates and reshape his legacy. From the outset, Rodgers has actively encouraged his new team to look beyond the headlines and the polarizing narratives that have often defined him. He's explicitly asked them to get to know him as an individual and a teammate, rather than as the public figure often depicted in the media. This appeal for a clean slate is a significant departure from the usual athlete-to-team dynamic, especially for a player of his stature. Teammates have responded positively, with many noting his humility and genuine interest in their lives. Wide receiver Scotty Miller highlighted Rodgers' desire for a fresh start, free from past judgments. Quarterbacks coach Tom Arth observed Rodgers' commitment to building essential relationships across the entire organization, a testament to his servant leader approach. This philosophy is evident in his interactions, whether it's offering specific advice to linebackers on defensive schemes or engaging in lighthearted banter with various players. The narrative surrounding Rodgers in Pittsburgh is one of intentionality. He's not just showing up to play, but to integrate, lead, and foster a positive team environment. This is further exemplified by his interactions with the coaching staff, including his apparent strong rapport with head coach Mike Tomlin, whom Rodgers described as pretty special to watch. This partnership between a seasoned coach and an iconic player is seen as a key element in the Steelers' quest to return to championship contention. Even players who were initially skeptical like safety Deshaun Elliott, have been won over by Rodgers' authentic personality, finding him to be funny as hell. This shift in perception is crucial for Rodgers, who is not only seeking a Super Bowl, but also an opportunity to leave a lasting positive impact. He's been described as a football genius by teammates, but it's his willingness to be vulnerable and connect on a personal level that seems to be making the most significant impression. By actively working to build trust and camaraderie, Rodgers is not just aiming to win games. He's actively trying to craft a more fulfilling conclusion to his illustrious career, one that emphasizes leadership, connection, and a positive legacy beyond the statistics. But can this off-field connection translate to on-field success? We'll break down the statistical predictions for the upcoming season next. Steelers 2025, a statistical forecast with Rodgers at the helm. This is an analytical prediction of how a team's performance metrics might change with a new star quarterback. As the Pittsburgh Steelers gear up for the 2025 season, the arrival of veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers has ignited a flurry of statistical predictions, offering a glimpse into what the team's performance might look like. The projections suggest a notable shift in offensive dynamics, with Rodgers expected to anchor a passing game that aims for efficiency rather than sheer volume. Analysts predict Rodgers will attempt around 538 passes over 17 games, a figure that, while substantial, reflects a more measured approach compared to his career highs. This projection assumes his continued durability, a key factor for the Steelers as they look to him to lead the offense. The team's passing touchdown forecast is around 25, a number that, while potentially a personal low for Rodgers in injury-free seasons, is viewed as a positive indicator of a balanced offense. If the Steelers are not frequently playing from behind, the need for constant aerial attacks diminishes, suggesting a more effective running game. Defensively, the outlook is robust, with T.J. Watt projected to be a league leader in sacks, supported by strong performances from Alex Highsmith and Cam Hayward. The defensive line, including emerging players like Keanu Benton and rookie Harmon, is also expected to contribute more sacks than in previous seasons. The secondary aims for increased takeaway numbers, with players like Patrick Queen and Minkah Fitzpatrick expected to be key figures in generating interceptions. On the offensive side, DK Metcalf is pegged as the clear #1 receiver, projected to exceed 1,000 receiving yards. However, the depth at tight end, with Jonnu Smith joining Pat Freiermuth, might temper Freiermuth's individual numbers. Receivers like Roman Wilson and Scotty Miller are anticipated to see more action, adding dynamism to the passing game. The running back core, led by Jaylen Warren, is expected to shoulder a significant load, with Warren potentially handling nearly half of the team's carries. This distribution highlights a strategy focused on establishing the run and utilizing multiple backs effectively. Overall, the Steelers' offense is projected to score around 40 touchdowns, leading to an average of 23.1 points per game. This represents a slight improvement from the previous season and positions the team competitively within the league. The predictions also touch upon the offensive line's potential, suggesting it could be one of the team's strongest units in years. The overall statistical forecast paints a picture of a well-rounded team, aiming for a blend of strong quarterback play, a potent running game, and a disruptive defense, all orchestrated to achieve a Super Bowl bid. But beyond the numbers, what's the real story of Rodgers' impact? We'll delve into the personal connections he's forging in Pittsburgh next. And that's a wrap on today's essential updates. We saw Aaron Rodgers embracing a new role in Pittsburgh, focusing on team connection and legacy. We dove into the statistical projections for the Steelers' upcoming season, highlighting potential shifts in offensive and defensive performance. We explored how Rodgers is actively working to build relationships and reshape his public image in his new environment. And we analyzed the statistical forecast for the Steelers, anticipating key player performances and team dynamics. Don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Rodgers Report for more in-depth coverage, ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload, leave a comment with your thoughts on today's stories, and follow us on all our social media channels to stay connected. We'll see you in the next one.